Oh man. I need to update some footage there, dude. That's all sick week 2025.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got a note sitting here next to my desk that I've had for probably 2 months now of we need to make new intro videos, but time.
Time. Man, hey, listen, we're too busy writing notes for the show and news, man. So what
Yeah,
would you rather have? Updated intros or updated news? I'm doing news every time, man.
amen.
All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing for March 7th, 2026. Stats and stories today are going to be nuts. We're including Mike Baker in the uh, Yukon Cornelius Suburban is updates. We've got stuff from events all around the world. It's a crazy amount of stuff that's going on today, and I hope you guys are ready for it. I don't even have my notes up yet, so while Mr. Eric White plays the intro, I'm gonna pull my notes up, sir.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys. Like I said, welcome to episode 472 of the Drag Driver Pete News, presented by Summit Racing for March 7th. I don't even know how many episodes this is. Funny story, I was talking to my neighbor last night, and he's about to start a podcast about some car stuff and all that. And so, obviously, we were talking. I was kind of giving him some tips and pointers and stuff like that. And he was like, "Well, you've been doing this like 2 years, right?" And I was like, actually, I think it's more like five, maybe even almost six now." And we joked, and he was like, "Well, how many does that mean you've done?" And I was like, "I don't know, 400 plus episodes." And he was like, "Seriously?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, we've done a bunch, man. The episode 142 will be Wednesday night of this week, and then we've probably done 110 of the news episodes, and then I did 100 uh, Narcoleptic Customs podcast before that. So kind of wild, dude.
Yeah, not even including every other time we go live at events and everything else. So,
Mm. Yeah, it's wild. I love it. So bring it on. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So if you guys don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this and the show that happens on Wednesday nights, and we literally tell stories from around the Dragon Drive community. That's probably the only way I can explain that. And my right hand man, Mr. Eric White, what you got going on, dude?
I am Eric White, co host of the show and the news. Typically, some photographs, which I'm going to do some stuff hopefully this weekend for again.
Hmm.
We talked a little bit about that, you and I, and artwork for the circuit. Been doing a bunch of stuff for that. Also, have some artwork coming for another event that reached out. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And man, it's just been busy. I'm going to get some artwork going for the Circuit Racer group and the Race Car Friends group to try to get some more stories so that we've got plenty of things to talk about here on
Yeah.
Saturday mornings and Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's kind of wild. That's what we spend most of the week doing. You and I send messages back and forth all the time about different stories that we see, across all of social media. It would be nice to have some folks send us some stuff, which we actually have that featured in the Howard's Cam community segment today. Is some people that sent us some stuff. So appreciate you guys for doing that. So, all right. Well, let's jump into this, man. You know how this works, dude. We can't do this without our race car friends who are over there making comments like crazy already this morning, man. I love it. Just want to say thank you guys so much. Like it's truly awesome to see what we've built here and just the community. I feel like we're building. I think we've really done a decent job of making people feel welcome for one, but then two, making it to where they know they can ask stuff. So even in the Facebook group, people know they can ask. They're going to get a good answer. It's not going to be right down the rabbit hole of funny stuff that maybe not be true, but is a good answer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sarcastic stuff. I think we've done a pretty good job of that. So Thank you guys again. Hit the share button as we jump into this as well. And then thank you to our sponsors, man. Really, without these guys, we can't do this at the level we do it at. So if you are doing some shopping this weekend, Summit Racing, we have the affiliate program over there. You can click on one of the pinned posts at the top of our Facebook page. You can also click any Summit Racing link on dragdriverepeat.com. It takes you right to Summit Racing. And then if you need a code, we have a few. We'll show those later, but we do have a few that I don't mind sending out. So if you need something from Summit, hit us up. Let us know. We got some stuff coming on. Deechworks, the number one fuel delivery, the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat right here. These guys bringing 2 cars to the circuit and sponsoring our racer party. Cannot thank them enough for doing that. Molly Motorsports, who's driving all the way from North Carolina, coming out to the circuit, going to be awesome. They're going to be back. Driven Racing Oil. You can't talk about oil without talking about those guys. They keep your stuff going in circles. That's what it needs to do. Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, and Car Change 3D. Man, if you're shopping, please hit those guys up, see what they got going on. And being that Summit Racing is the title sponsor of the show, news, and the circuit, let's let Mr. Brian Lone's buttery sweet voice tell us all about what they got going on.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
And dude, we joke about this quite a bit, but Summit has probably one of the best social media groups of people out there. I think it's Eric with a C. Eric with a C. Yeah. And they're always posting something. Dude, look at this one, 480 comments. I would have never thought hood up or hood down at shows would get this many comments. But I want to ask you, what's your preference? And depending on which car, it's probably dependent upon which car you're driving as well, I would think. So if you pull in the 240, what's your preference?
Hood up, usually hood up, because it's a 240. So most people don't really know what to expect under the hood. So usually the hood up, but I do like a not full hood up, like kind of like half up, because I like to be able to see, to see the car still. So I kind of will use something as a prop to kind of prop it up like midway.
Nice. I like that. Okay. I'm kind of the same way. I'm kind of especially on the old truck. Now on the cart, obviously there's no hood, but on the old truck, I like to pop it just a little bit because a lot of people don't recognize the intercooler up front, and they're about to not recognize it as much anymore because I'm fixing to scoot it back so it'll look like a radiator. And so if you pop the hood just enough to get that like bottom side of the turbo there in the view, man, people will flock to that thing. So I'm kind of a half hood up. But what about when you're going to be driving the Mustang?
So I've taken it to one car show. It's been a couple of years now, and since it has a pin-on hood, I just took the hood off and left the hood at home and drove it with no hood on.
Race car stuff.
Yeah, you got when you got twin turbos, like you got to have those showing off.
Yeah, 100%. So I went through, a couple of our race car friends here made comments within that post, and so Michael Ray said, "Depends if I want to think, well, if I want them to think it's slow. It's like it's Greenie's cousin here. Beautiful car. Love the hubcaps, and then the wide back tire. I think it's a 295 or 315 back tire. Of course, Jeff Russell says kind of hard, kind of don't have a choice, and he doesn't in the hot rod taxi. Joey Marshall says up, but look at the underhood shot of the S550 Mustang there. Bro, I would pop the hood if that's what mine looked like.
Yeah, with all that paint matching in there, 100%.
Yeah, Bob Ruppel says up, and then of course the other shot there is the old truck. This is the only shot I have of the old truck, kind of with the hood halfway popped. So this is typically my jam. And then next to me is obviously my dad's 73 Nova. This from a car show back in like 2018 or something like that. But it was the easiest one I could grab to put in here. He was always a hood up kind of guy, just because he had really worked really, really hard to make the underhood of that car look really nice. Now me, the underhood of the old truck, listen, I want to motivate people to know they can do that kind of work.
Yeah, I don't pop it because I have like cool things to show or like it looks nice. I just pop it to have the conversation started, which is what it does more often than
Yeah.
not. Like the 240 is it's an all right car, but like
Mhm.
it's no car show car. Like it's got dents, it's got rock chips, like it's a driven car. So that's what I tell people whenever they come up. They're like, "Oh, this is cool." I'm like, it's kind of dirty. I
Yeah.
drove it. Like I'm here to have the conversation and meet people, not to come home with a trophy for sure.
Yeah, that's right, and, we know that's the way it goes, and dude, my truck I don't
Which
think will ever win a trophy except for maybe biggest burnout. I don't know.
I
We'll
do
see.
have one trophy sitting in the office too,
Nice.
from 2018 car show with the 240.
That's awesome, man. Dude, think that's almost 10 years ago. How's that make you feel?
Yeah. I turned 40 here soon, so like everything seems like a long time ago now.
I'm telling you. Well, tell us what this, Weekend Warrior Race and Relax is.
Yeah, so Weekend Warrior Race and Relax had made a post. It was about 10 hours ago. It was probably yesterday, and they had announced that Summit Racing Equipment is the 2026 award sponsor for the Weekend Warrior Race and Relax, which is October 2nd through 4th at Western Colorado Dragway. And I threw in a little bit here. The registration for that is going to be opening up here soon, April 2nd. So just under a month away.
Man, that's awesome. That's another event, again, like all these new events that are popping up. I would never have had a reason to go to Western Colorado Dragway, but now I would, right? Because there's a dragon drive out there and we can go see cool, different stuff.
Yeah. So
Well,
so
that's
shout
awesome.
out to Summit for obviously getting involved with almost all of the Dragon drives in one
Yeah.
way or another. So pretty cool.
Yep. Big shout out to them. They work hard to do that, and they're also racers, dude. I mean, that's you can't forget to say that. And then, of course, one of the things, like I don't know, I don't see them on yours, but I always cut the strings off of my hoodie, dude. That will get caught in a fan blade or an alternator belt or something like that in a second. And have you seen the new video on Finnegan and Freiberger's channels?
No, I just seen the
They take the limo
screenshot
truck.
of you talking about it here.
It's really fun. Dude, it's 2.5 hours long. Like it took me 2 or 3 days to get through it while I was doing work stuff and then that, trying to watch it and all that. So, but I caught this shot. So the whole time he's under the hood, dude, those things are just dangling. I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man, please, please. So just wanted to remind you when you do pick up that sweet drag driver Pete hoodie, which I'm conveniently wearing this morning. I didn't do this on purpose, but when you get it home, dude, snip that one side and just yank that string right out because I'm telling you, that thing will get caught up. Yeah, it gone. That
There
dude.
you go.
Thank you. Every time I see somebody walking around with those and those things are dangling and they're working on something, I'm like, man, that's just waiting, dude. It's just waiting, and that's all you need is one yank on that thing from an alternator, and your weekend's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah, which makes me wonder how many times in your adult life have you used those strings?
That was my whole point when I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I've not since I've been an adult pulled it down to where just my face is out.
The only thing that I do with those is make them even because they're never even.
Yeah,
Like
where you're
it's
standing there, just
literally
kind of a
yeah,
nervous tick.
it's literally the only thing I ever do with them because I'm like, oh, this looks dumb. One's up here and one's down here, so you straighten them out, but like you never do anything with them besides that.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yep. No, I think it's a thing that happened, and yeah, Richard Bruce says he always ties his together. Yeah, nah, man, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just asking you guys if you have a hoodie and you're going to be working on the car or you're going to be driving your hot rod. That's really what gets you is these roadside repairs. Just quick jump out, pull the like in this one, he pulled the air cleaner off, was spraying some brake cleaner in to get it fired again. Like you would never think about that because you're on the side of the road. You're trying to jump out and do that, and then it's like, pew. That's all it takes. Now you're bouncing your head off the hood and it falls on you, and you know now all the fun stuff happens. So, anyways, when you pick up that Drag Driver Pete Summit branded merch from SummitRacing.com, make sure you cut those links off. All right, Drag Driver Pete updates because we got to get rolling here. Sorry, sir, I've been jaw jacking here a little bit. I put 100 miles on the old truck this week. been kind of cruising it around, just out starting it every day or every couple days. I had a young man Monday with me. I think we talked about this on the show the other night, but had him. So him and I drove it out to my brother's house so he could see what a operating shop looks like. And then the other thing that happened this week, my daughter blew the Saturn up. So I think it actually happened last Friday. We broke a cam bolt, so the Saturn rocket is no more. I drove that thing 70,000 miles, 3 years worth of driving the little Saturn, and she drove it a month. Put 700 miles on it, and somehow breaks the cam gear. I'm not saying it was her fault. It just, maybe that's the way things crumble that way. But I'm glad it was home. She drove it like into the driveway, and that's when it decided it wasn't going to play anymore. So pretty sad. I think a lot of people had seen that. I mean, it had been to a lot of events. I think I'd taken it to like 10 events one year or something like that. So pretty sad. For a $600 car, my brother and I gave $600 for that thing, and then put like one full set of tires on and oil changes, and that was it, man. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
You've driven it all the way up here before. You had it at Six Summer.
Yeah, it went to Street and Yeet. It's been to Drag Week. It's been all over the place. So, yeah, it was great, man. 87 miles an hour and 32 miles a gallon. That thing cruised. So it was a great car. But now she's driving the Trailblazer and
headed to the scrapyard, or
I don't know, man. I'm really trying to figure out. Steven wants me to take it over and do a car crush deal, like where you get to swing bats at it and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is hard. I feel like cars have souls, and I don't want it to end its life that way. There's still a ton of great parts on that car, and so maybe it just goes to the junkyard and somebody uses parts from it from there. It's all one color, which is a big thing for 2003 Saturns anymore. So I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, your brother can probably snag a cheap engine somewhere and just keep rolling with it.
I'm not going to go through all that because, dude, a motor's got to be $400 or $500, and I'm not going to, I need to size down the fleet. Anyways, I have literally on my insurance, I have 5 cars. So and they're all cars like that, or a 2003 Trailblazer she's driving now that's probably worth $1,500. And I still got the Suburban, which now that the Suburban isn't driving like I want, I'm like, me and Steven are talking about doing a quick build of something cool for it. So I don't know. I need to get through some of that stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. Circuit stuff. Hey, no, I didn't put the photos in here, but the OG race car friends, the folks that signed up during the PRI weekend, those shirts should be arriving today finally, and I'm going to get those sent out on Monday. So just know that you should have those late next week.
I'm not releasing
photos of that, but it is different than what you saw last time. So yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'll send you that after the show. And then when people start getting them, we'll see people obviously posting it and stuff like that. And then we'll release the photos and all that kind of stuff. So the OG race car friends are the people that sign up during PRI, pay for an entire year at that time. You can still get in $10 a month. It helps us, helps you. We're going to do some drawings for event entries here in the next couple of weeks. And that should help a lot of people attend more events, hopefully, and all that fun stuff. So, all right, circuit update, sir. This is a good one. We've locked in the first race for the circuit. The first race for us is always a big deal. We love doing this. This is like people are up on the line doing some charitable gambling, I'm going to say. Okay. So you kind of pick your lane, who you want to go with, and then, make your donation or for them to win. So this year we're going to do John Ketch and Eric Kuhn. These cars, some of the fastest cars we've had at the circuit in the past. And John says, hey, look, we're going like side-by-side 4s. So they're going to run to the 8th. And this could set off what could be the quickest circuit that we've had ever. So this could be pretty wild. I'm kind of excited. So Friday morning, the first race that kicks off the event is going to be John Ketch and Eric Kuhn.
That will be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Great looking cars too. All right, sir. What else we got going on here?
So the Circuit Racers Facebook group, if you guys are not a member and are attending the Circuit 26 or Short Circuit 26, make sure you send over a request to us so we will approve those for the members that are going to be in there. But this group, as you can see here, it is called the Circuit Racer. As you can see the photo of last year's winners. So make sure you head over there. And if you got somebody that you know is coming and hasn't joined the group, invite them if you're already in the group. If you're not in the group, just send a request. Those will all come through us and we'll approve those. And we have a WhatsApp group as well. So Mike will be sending out an email tomorrow to all the Circuit 26 participants with the invite for that as well. Again, just way to communicate with everybody so that everybody knows what's going on. We can send updates through that and everything else.
Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about those. That'll be good. All right. Driven oil updates, sir.
All right.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip and during the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Agreed.
All right. DDR10 gets you that 10% discount on drivenracingoil.com. So if you are picking up oil for the season, be sure to use that discount. Save yourself a little bit of money. So first up here, episode 142 on Wednesday night is going to be awesome. We have Finnegan, we have Joe Cole, and Ryclimp all going to be on talking about Sick Week. And we want to know, what questions do all you guys have for us to ask those guys when they're on? So you can either comment in here. There will be, I think there already is a group event posted. So if you can put comments in there, or even in the Race Car Friends group, wherever, put questions in there. And then that gives us some things to talk about during the show. So be sure to submit those.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. We've had Rye on before, and we've had Mike on, but never Joe. So I'm kind of excited to see how he got his, what the process is there.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a good one. And updates. There are 3 events that open for registration today. So first one is Redwood Rally, opens at 10 a.m. I didn't get the time zone on that, so I'm assuming it's their time zone, which would be
Pacific, should be.
Okay.
So it's at
So
like
that'd be
noon here.
Yep. So that'll be coming up a little bit later. That event is September 21st through 26th. They will be at Medford. Was it Madreas?
I think so.
Madreas, Woodburn, Coos Bay, and then back to Medford. So again, that is going to be an awesome event. So that will open up today. Havlic's Fastest Streetcar Shootout is open now. That opened about an hour and a half ago to the public. So that is August 6th through 8th at Cordova Dragway. It is a 250 car limit. So 150 cars for the heads up and 100 cars for the index classes. So again, this is going to be one that you don't want to miss. So this is an awesome one. Get registered for that. And then finally, Cruise and Lose 2026 opens up to the veterans today at 8 a.m. and opens up to the public tomorrow. That is August 21st through 23rd. They will be at Kearney, I-29, and back to Kearney. So again, 3 events opening up today. Make sure if these are on your list, you get over there and get registered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to get on there for sure. Hurry up on the Havlik stuff. I know they're already getting people signed up.
And then obviously Redwood Rally, we talked about that opening up today. Their veteran registration has already opened up for veterans. So today is for the public. So one person that I did see who was already registered was Brady Davis in that beautiful white Chevy truck there. So just wanted to give a shout out to, this is the first person I seen that said that they were registered for Redwood Rally. So,
yep. And then Duke Luke Grutch is, Kevin Sawtell says, why won't Joe go on your show? What's up with that? He is going to be on the show. I don't know. Maybe missed that. This will just be the first time he's been on.
Yep. And then Madras. There you go.
That
That's how
one.
you pronounce it. Like it. Perfect. Appreciate that. We're not good when it comes to pronouncing some of that stuff. And then obviously just another shot here of the Havlic's fastest streetcar shootout. Again, today, 8 a.m. Don't forget that. Gonna be awesome. I mean, these shots like this, the last 2 years have been legendary. Like, man, all the cars lined up on the track. And then last year with the explosion at the end of the track, like, it's a great way to kick off the show, and it's just a great weekend. So again, I highly recommend anybody that wants to participate in it, register. If you don't want to participate, at least show up, because you're going to see some pretty badass cars at this thing. And then finally, Mother Road Mayhem, our first registry, Dustin Cottle signed up for the Mother Road Mayhem one-day event that we put on at Tulsa Raceway Park. So big shout out to Dustin for registering for that and being our first one.
Dude, he's always been so supportive, man. I appreciate that guy more than he knows.
Absolutely. So with that, that gives us 50 events on the Drag and Drive calendar for 2026. So again, you can find all of those at dragdriverepeat.com/event list-2026. That link is in the chat. And remember, you've got the interactive map where you can see all the starting locations. And then if you scroll past that, you have just the lists underneath it. So pretty awesome. Check that out. Again, 50 events. So there's going to be something for you somewhere. So get registered.
Something close.
And then finally, for the driven section, wanted to give a shout out to Driven Racing Oil for teaming up with Jesse Fox of 3G Video. Man, who better else to partner with than a guy that drives his car literally across the country and does all the media for Drag and Drive. So definitely big shout out to them. He's going to put that oil to the test. And I think he said he's going to be participating in some events this year as well.
Yeah, he's planning to race in 3 events. And Benny with the hot rod motor in it. So that's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. So good deal there.
Yep. Yeah. Congratulations to him, man. He's earned sponsorships for sure. This guy drives 40,000 miles last year.
Mm-hmm. And a Volvo wagon with a Mopar.
Volvo wagon. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool. And he is the first person to drive both directions of Route 66 in the 100th anniversary.
Yes. And
awesome.
That one's kind of tricky because I was thinking about that recently. So Route 66 actually opened up in November of 1926. Ooh. So it is the 100th year, but to the day, I mean, it'd be cool for somebody to do it that way too. So obviously it was very cool to see him do it starting on New Year's Eve and completing it within it was like 7 or 10 days, right? It was pretty quick.
Yeah, both ways. I think it was 9 days both ways.
Yeah, so pretty cool. But I thought that was interesting. I didn't know when the road was officially commissioned, and it was like in November. I don't remember the exact date, but
that's awesome. We may need to look at that because I don't think we could probably make that drive to Route 66 from George Ray's. But if it's early November, that may be kind of the timing with with our short circuit event.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Cool. Well, thanks again to Driven for all the stuff they do for us. Moving to Deechworks here. Deechworks is the leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus pump modules and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 plus horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Plus, they're kind of badasses. I mean, they're bringing 2 cars to the circuit. One's an 850 competitor, going to really put that Baker Bounty to work in the 850 class with Brian Acton. See if can he four-peat, or is Mark Campbell going to be there and be able to take him out and take him down? So it's going to be kind of fun to watch that. And then, of course, I can't wait to see the 4G63 powered Volvo Amazon. It's going to be kind of awesome. But in today's segment for Deechworks, we're going to talk about Mr. Brandon Dollar Dragzine wrote an article and did a podcast with him about his trip from Indiana at the shop there all the way down to Sick Week. And basically, he was going anyways. They had a death in the family, which is kind of sad. Wait, hang on, back up. What was that?
November 11th is when Route 66 opened.
Okay, so people could leave the short circuit and go up and cruise that. Cruise a little bit, maybe on their way home in different directions. So basically, he said they had a death in the family. I think his wife's grandfather or something like that, and that pushed him back a couple of days. They were ready to go. Had this death, end up, going to the funeral, doing all that kind of stuff, and then like Wednesday or Thursday, she was like, "Hey, if you want to go ahead." Like this conversation of like, "Hey, I wish I would have been there," all that kind of stuff. So they got the family stuff handled. And he was like, "Well, if I'm going, I want to drive. I don't want to fly. And if I'm going to drive, I'm going to take the car." Well, dude, the hilarious part when they left, it was like 20 degrees outside, right? So they literally turned the generator on in the trailer and ran an extension cord in and had heated blankets on themselves, plus a buddy heater inside the car to keep it warm enough to drive. So kind of crazy to drive. I think it was like 2,400 miles round trip or something like that in a car that's been in the sevens.
Right.
So I love that. I think people are finally getting out and really driving these things.
Yeah. Pretty cool for sure.
Yeah. They ended up breaking something. I can't remember if it was on the way down or on the way back, but they ended up cracking a fuel cell. They ended up staying in the Summit Racing parking lot one night, sleeping in the car, which I can't imagine sleeping in a car with fixed seats. That would kind of suck. They pull into a gas station. It's right across from the Summit. They weren't gonna like the hotel that's next door. Do you remember the hotel I stayed in that year I went to Sick Week that I drove down by myself? Super sketch. I'm telling you, the sketchiest place I've probably ever been in. And door didn't quite close all the way. I had to wedge the chair under the doorknob. Like it was a whole thing. They were right next to that place in this gas station. It's even as scheduled. People outside at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They just were like, "Hey, we're right across the street from the Medina, Georgia Summit." They just went and slept in the car in the driveway. So kind of a cool story that he told with Brian Wagner on Dragzine. But one thing I really thought was cool from the story is they're talking to a guy that had worked at Summit for like 30 years. I don't remember the guy's name. Sorry about that. But they're talking about the car. They're talking about what it is. And of course, the guy's talking about this Nova and all this kind of, I think it was a Nova, maybe a Camaro. And he was like, "Man, I remember seeing that car." Turns out that Brandon had that car on his wall from a Summit catalog fold out poster. Like when Brandon was a young man, had it on the wall, and this dude is the guy that owns it now. And just randomly met him in the parking lot while he's working on his car, doing a fuel cell replacement. Basically, they couldn't fix it, and so they just replaced it. So
how cool is that?
Stuff. It's pretty neat, man. Like it's such a small car world that we live in.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you don't get those stories if you're flying down to the event, right? Yeah. Like you never get that story out of that. So pretty cool. Again, we talk about it all the time, but the stories that come out of driving your cars this distance and going to events and having issues like that, like you're not going to get that conversation if you had just flown down to the event or trailered your car down to the event. So yeah, really cool there. I like that.
Yeah, so I grabbed a few photos. I thought this is one of the great stories that I think will come out of 2026 is this car driving that, because they really went down and came right back. I think it was like a 4-day trip, 2,400 miles in 4 days.
Yeah.
But I love this trailer, dude. Look at that thing.
Oh yeah, that's super nice.
Awesome. Especially in the Buc-ee's parking lot. And then he says here, it was well below freezing when we left. After 100 miles or so, we put the extension cord from the generator on the trailer through the car and powered heated blankets so we didn't freeze. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart stuff there. This is a picture of them working on the car in the Summit parking lot, and just a good street shot here of them driving down the road. I love those shots probably the most. Just because that's real deal stuff. You can't get by without a late night gas station lighting shot there. Car looks amazing. I love that color and just how subdued it is. But this shot, I think, was my most favorite that he sent me. This dusk, headlights on, you're getting just the right shine on all the right parts under the hood. There's man, that's what driving your hot rod is about. Because to me, like my hot rod is my grandfather's truck. Like he saw that same stuff that I'm seeing, he saw it, like back when he drove that truck.
Mhm.
So I always think that's really, really cool to see all of that.
100%. And
Yeah.
even getting some respect from the Canadian Chuck Norris, Mr. Guido here, for doing
Well
those
deserved.
drive-ins and saying, wish they could have made a pass, which I agree would have been cool.
Yep. Yeah, pretty neat to just see people getting out and doing that. And I like to think that Rich Guido motivates a lot of people to do that. If he can drive something that's 1,800 horsepower and a stick shift, as far as he does 200,000 miles, then people can get their stuff out and drive that. And I tell you, if you have the tuner with you, like Brand, it looks like they were sitting here working. Yeah, they have the computer out, so as they're doing that, I mean, you really get your drive tune dialed in there. It's about the best way to do it, because when are you going to be able to have your tuner cruise around with you and tickle keys as you're just cruising?
Yeah.
I see Martin Kilroy in here saying that slick. That dude, it would take him a year to drive 2,400 miles at 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, but he'd look pretty cool doing it still.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know if he'd want to do it at 24 degrees outside, but it's pretty awesome. So
I don't think heated blankets are going to be enough to keep him warm.
Right. Yeah. Big shout out to Brandon and his co-pilot for taking that trip and taking that, just taking that adventure really to go down and do that and see everybody down at Sick Week. So
yeah. And the one thing, go back to that picture real quick. The one thing that we talk about all the time is the trailer game. You had mentioned like how the trailer looked, but again, the paint matching trailers, like, man, that doesn't get any better than that. Like it looks super cool, matches the car. Like I dig that a lot.
Right. And let's go back to this shot right here. So they're on the road. This is a semi up in front of them, and there's a shadow to whatever is next to them. Can you imagine? You're just cruising along. You're in your family vacation, daily driver vehicle or whatever, and you're just cruising along and you see this. Like, what the heck, dude? I'm like, oh my God, I'd have just followed that dude, even if they were doing 55. The wife would have been like, what are you doing? I'm like, we need roller shots, honey. I need you to hang out the window. get that low shot. Hey kids, I'm going to open the back gate. Get this video as we're driving along.
Right.
So
yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah, big shout out to them for that. All right, let's move on, man. Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift they can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce a one-off keychain for that special person's special car, or you can do special custom stuff for their dash for inserts for, like, if you have a Fox body like Eric does, you can get like a 3.5-inch screen mount where the vents are. Like he's got all kinds of crazy stuff that could work for all of the things you have going on. CarChange3D.com or CarChange3D on Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely.
He's doing a great job of posting new products and stuff, man. He's got a whole lot of stuff that's coming, and we're actually working with him on some ideas for stuff for the drag and drive community. Over here trying to make everybody's life a little better. With me driving my old truck, I immediately have a thought on something that may work. So, I'm drawing it up in my mind, going to send it over to him, see if we can make something happen. All right.
So this we got coming here is the backside brawl at Mid-America Dragway, which was a stop on Race Week 2021.
Yeah, I've changed the transmission fluid in the cart in this parking lot. It didn't help at all, but I changed it. And then my brother replaced a wheel bearing on a VR6 Golf cart that had been converted at about 3:00 in the morning that year.
Hooterville Hero here saying headed to backside brawl now.
Awesome. That's exciting to hear. Chris Paget's going to be racing out there today. John Ketch is going to be out today. Well, I need a really good shot of John's car for the racer stuff for the circuit. So he's done a bunch of upgrades. You really got the paint looking good. I need this photo here is from like 2 years ago, but I need some shots of his car. Somebody can get me something, Melissa Morrow or Gary Cummins of that track channel. One of you guys can grab that, or somebody even in the stands there, just go out with your phone and grab me something. But Melissa Morrow from Morrow Photography will be there. She's done a lot of our stuff here for Drag Driver Pete and also for Tulsa Raceway Park. And then Gary Cummins of that track channel is going to be there for video and photo footage as well. So kind of excited about that. The Backside Brawl Mid-America. This will be one of the first times I think they've done a backside event, and Mid-America is only a couple hours from me, but it's just far enough to where I wasn't going to try and make the trip after we do the show and stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you there.
Yeah. Up next, we have Street Muscle Magazine wrote an article about our favorite Canadian Oldsmobile and driver. Basically, the reason this one stuck out to me, one, we love Raj. He was on Wednesday night, episode 141, telling fun stories. But look at the dudes in the back. Like, what do you think the old man in the back is telling? I assume that's a young man. I don't know. Maybe that dude's in his mid-20s. What do you think he's telling him?
Yeah. Get your screwdriver ready so I can teach you how to turn that thing up.
Yeah. I think it's this guy's gonna go eights right here. And the kid goes, in that?
Yeah,
this car's gonna go eights. So basically the article, an 8-second Oldsmobile that still runs real Olds powered. We know we've talked about that with the Bill Travato racing setup. The 500 and something cubic inches. I mean, pretty crazy setup. Says the wording in the article says his Oldsmobile 442 runs high 8-second passes, but still uses a true Oldsmobile rocket engine, not the typical LS swap, which we see a bunch of. In a world where most fast cars end up with LS power, this car keeps the Oldsmobile heritage alive while still being brutally fast. We talked about this the other night, 870s and a nitrous car. A lot of times we see these faster cars, not fastish. This car is faster cars, using turbo stuff, and Raj does it the hard way. Still column shifts. We didn't know that till the other night. Column shifts this car like as you're driving down the track with the column shifter. So pretty awesome. And had the nitrous on a button until I think Sick Week 2025, he said, maybe, or Six Smokies, when Jimmy Dale got on him, and they got some Nitrous Express stuff hooked up with wide open throttle switches and all that kind of stuff. And now he's going MS3 Pro, and he'll be able to do all kinds of cool, neat stuff with throttle position sensor, all that kind of stuff. Keep the nitrous on while it's maybe at 70 or 80% throttle while he's pedaling the car to keep traction.
I don't know if you're seeing it in here, but my lights are keep flickering in here.
Oh no!
I'm
yeah,
like,
we can't do over here. Yeah, I thought the wife was in there telling you, hurry up. I thought you said you were only going to be on there an hour.
No, light keeps going, flicking.
Like, no, Mike just keeps talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Another cool story here. Engine Builder Magazine wrote about Kevin Parton 67 Nova. He made that the engine of the week after Sick Week, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've looked at this thing up close, but I've seen it a couple times, and it is super clean. I love that thing.
Yeah, the symmetry and all, it just looks so nice.
Yeah. Vinny over at Summit Racing Equipment now.
What up? That's awesome.
So in the magazine here, the car here is sporting a 427 LSX with twin turbos. And Kevin told Engine Builder Magazine at Sick Week 2025, we had a dome pressure sensor issue. And when I tipped into the throttle, it made all of the boost and broke all 8 connecting rods at the same time, pushing everything out the bottom of the block. We were done.
Ouch.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a tough break right there.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and one thing I thought was really cool from the article was that I think I put this as the quote of the week. It says, the camshaft isn't really the magic to these motors. It's all the boost. You may see 50 horsepower or something from a different camshaft, but that's 2 pounds of boost. You just turn the boost up. Because they were talking about how well it drives and all that kind of stuff. And, Luke tells us that all the time. He's like, you truly, unless you're trying to ragged edge class race, he's like, you don't need that. He's like, people aren't going to be able to tell at the level this car is another 50 horsepower. So
Right.
he's like, don't make it bad on yourself because you feel like you need the biggest cam possible, especially if you have boost.
Yep.
Now you NA guys, that's all you got. That's all you got is cam stuff. So big shout out to Corey. We have some, again, fun stuff in the works, man. We're going to do some really fun stuff for all of our people here in the Drag and Drive community. We've got some ideas on how to make your life better.
I like it. All right. Well, we've got a little bit more to go, so appreciate everybody hanging in with us this morning. Again, I say it every week, but the Saturday morning show really is one of my favorites. It's the best thing to do, get up on a Saturday morning and jump on here and talk about race car stuff with all of our race car friends. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, our sponsors. We couldn't sit here and do this. We couldn't travel to all the events. We couldn't provide all the coverage, stories, everything that we do if it wasn't for our sponsors. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performa-Built Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
For sure.
And that is going to run us into our Molly Motorsports segment here. And I'm going to hit this video and we'll play that and then we'll keep rolling.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together. So all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
One thing I want to talk about this week on the Molly Motorsport stuff is our these slow car. And dude, I put this in parentheses simply because everybody knows when you say slow cars, we're talking about like 10 to 14 second cars here. Like those are still pretty quick. They're fun.
Oh, yeah.
So slow car articles, slow car conversations has really inspired us. We're going to start writing more articles. We've got a plan together with, of course, Rodney Reeves is helping us with this. So big shout out to him for helping us put this stuff together. So the first article that dropped the other day on the site, I'll be sharing it out today, is Andrew Dopita on the 12.005 average from Rocky Mountain Race Week 2018, 12.005 across 5 days of racing. Like, do you understand how impressive that is? So we're going to kind of use, I don't know if we're going to find a sponsor for this. We're going to make it a thing. I don't know, but we're going to talk about, we're going to feature cars that don't necessarily get featured up front, but that have done some cool stuff. So plan right now, one, maybe 2 articles a week about some cars that are in that range, that 10 to, we'll write a 19-second car. You know what I mean? Like the car from the other night with that ran 19s all week and earned his 19-second average, we'll tell stories about that because I feel like, and we've said this a bunch, this is the bread and butter. This is the backbone of the drag and drive community. The 10 to 12 second cars make up probably 60% of all of events. If you were to look at it, break it down like that, we saw it the other night, the 10 to 12 second cars, it's the largest majority of classes and everything from sick week. So we're going to see that continue. We see it every year like that. And actually the 11-second cars were the biggest grouping this year. Somebody that finished with an 11-second average, I guess that's probably better to say.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to get our new people coming into the sport starting anyways. Like if we're going to attract new people, there's going to be guys that've got 850 cars that can jump right in and run that. But the majority of your average car enthusiast that has a cool weekend, town cruiser car is going to be in that 10 to 14 or whatever range. So why not focus on some of those and show people that, hey, I can take my insert car here out to one of these events and have a lot of fun with it.
Well, and again, that's our goal. More people. We want to grow the community as well as we can, telling the right stories, right? We don't want just a bunch of people in, we want the right people into the community. So, the next article that should be coming up, I would say probably either late today or tomorrow, depending on how much work I can get done today, is our 10-0 points champion, Mr. David Lips, and his performance at Hot Rod Drag Week 2025. So I just grabbed a couple of the questions here because we want to tell about him, but also about the car, right? So we want to give people something to talk about when they get there. So I thought you would think this was pretty funny. Favorite road snack? He said, "Does C4 Energy count as a snack? Otherwise, Beaver Nuggets, hands down." Dude, I don't do energy drinks like that anymore, but I've seen you with C4 in your hand quite a bit.
You've seen me with basically wherever we stop, whatever I can find. I mean, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to have some. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be a car-related energy drink
Yeah,
channel review something. But rocking a Cherry Bomb Alani New this morning.
nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then his car and mods 2018 Dodge Charger Hellcat with a full rack of bolt-ons is what he says. We currently have about 35,000 miles on this setup, making north of 900 wheel horsepower since 2019.
Yeah, see, he's got the right idea. 900 horsepower. It's 4 doors. It's got comfortable seats. It's got air conditioning. Like guys like me out here building a 82 Fox body Mustang that has none of those things. Like he's just going to be cruising along, having a good time, comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, he has, for the first run of setup on the Mustang, 10-0 stuff is kind of what we've been talking about, and there's nobody that's done it better at Hot Rod Drag Week because he did 10-0s every day. One of 6 cars to ever run 10-0s every day in the Street Machine Eliminator class. So pretty cool. A lot of really neat kind of stats around that car and around his performance. So that's kind of how Rodney and I chose him to feature as our second car in this. And we've got a lot planned. I mean, obviously ideas are great, but we're really going to buckle down and do this. And this is kind of fun. So again, big thanks to Rodney Reeves, who was making comments in here just a minute ago. Have a lot planned for the slow car coverage,
Absolutely. I like it.
All right.
All right.
Dude.
We'll play this video and then we'll talk about some Howard's Cam community segment news.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
Big shout out to Harris. Huge podcast, man. He's doing great things with that. First up here on the Howard's Cams community segment is one that I've been wanting to make an update on this, dude, for probably, have we talked about it in 4 months?
I don't know if we've even, it's got to have been longer than that.
Man,
it's got to have been into last year. Like,
oh yeah, dude,
like
for
middle of last year.
Well, it's great stuff. And I think it was like a sneak peek is basically what he was trying to do. So big shout out to our boy, Ryan Hargett right here, who was complaining about the commercial volume on Flow Racing while he was watching stuff. But there's been work done to this car. So this is the antidote. Actually, this isn't the antidote Camaro looking now. This is their nitrous car. Damn, I was thinking, dude, I saw the reddish color and I saw work being done. I'm heartbroken. Ryan Hargett, somebody tag Ryan right now and tell him we need an update on the antidote Camaro.
Because
I'm excited. I saw the shiny bits and pieces and work being done and blue tape over tubing and stuff. And I was like, oh man, here we go. But we know he is signed up for Drag Week.
Yeah. So we need an update from Ryan. Because like you said, he has signed up for Drag Week, and that is only 190 days away from today. So somebody tag Ryan and tell him he's got 190 days to get the car together and to send us over some updates, because honestly, we are excited. What's going to be cooler than seeing his car, Larry Larson, the Viper? Like, I mean, he's got to get that done. Like, it's going to be an epic year.
Well, 2025 was the quickest drag week in history. Can we continue that drive with 2026? I mean, like, dude, Byron, Cordova, St. Louis, and Route 66, like, that's pretty salty tracks there too. Those guys can prep it to get, some 5-second cars down.
Yeah, I'm excited. Route 66 is going to be cool.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go to Drag Week this year, but I have to. All right, up next, Doom, the Jack Weatherford's 55 gasser setup. Man, I love this car since Sick Week 2025. Sadly, he had water in the car this year, and it pushed 2 freeze plugs out the back of the engine in the parking lot at Gainesville. So they put it back on the trailer, took it back home, ended coming back to, I think it was Orlando. They came back with it fixed and then drove the rest of the week with it. So kind of fun. This is one of my favorite cars, favorite people too. I mean, Jack is awesome. He's always hilarious to talk with. We had a blast. He pitted with me a couple days during Sick Week this year, but look at this upgrade, dude. Big single plane, big carb, and a Pro Charger.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm all over it. Hang on. I didn't put it in the notes here, but he sent me. Let me get it pulled up.
Look how much room there is still all around that.
Oh, dude, this thing is and it's stick shift car, so get everybody excited about that too. He said you can never go fast enough. Thanks to Edelbrock, Jeremy at Edelbrock, for the carb and intake, and SME, Stephen Kyle, Pro Charger. The beast is getting some upgrades. He said, hopefully you're doing well. The circuit is on my bucket list now. So hopefully we can see this car, maybe circuit 2027, come up from Florida and race with us there. But dude, a blow through carburetor setup on a single plane. Oh, mama.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any more than that. And stick shift. This car did wheelies before. Will now do bigger wheelies.
It's going to be rowdy, and we like rowdy.
Yep. Again, one of my favorite cars of the week of all of Drag and Drive. This car just does cool stuff, and now it's going to do even cooler stuff. So, and then Michael Baker sent me over this last night saying that Yukon Cornelius is getting upgrades. It's currently at 417 Motorsports. Blake Hughes and the team over there. And this is what you see on the outside. You ready to see what you see under the hood?
Oh, absolutely.
How about that?
So this is what you were talking about with your Suburban? Is this what you're telling me?
Dude, good Lord, maybe. I don't know, man. Look how cool that looks.
Could you imagine taking that on some events? Like, get your Suburban, freshened up, nice motor, throw a couple turbos on it or a turbo and just cruise that thing to events?
I mean, gosh dang it. You and Steven, y'all are bad influences, man. I could put I have a 6-liter and a 4L80 in the shop. I could put that in the old truck with a small Howard's cams, just something fun to drive, and then put the turbo setup in the Suburban.
Yeah, build it out the thing is you can take that engine out if anything happens to the Suburban. You just pull it out and throw it into something else. What's in the Suburban now?
That's just 5.3. It's 4-wheel drive, so it'll be 4L60,
So you just pull that out and put it to the side, because then you got something else you can put together for who knows what other project. And
you'd have to build. Then you got to go buy another project car because you have a motor and trans sitting there waiting.
Well, yeah, but you can't ever get rid of a motor and trans either, so it's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we had been discussing the thought of maybe pulling the cab off of the Suburban and putting an old body of some kind, a truck body or something like that, something that would be close to the right wheelbase, and throwing it on there and doing that, something that's easy. But then freaking Mike Baker shows up in Yukon Cornelius, and I'm like, well, it's kind of cool.
It is. It's
Look at the big sheet metal intake and everything there. Like, oh man.
yeah, it's unassuming when you look at the outside, but imagine how much fun that's got to be to cruise down the highway. Like,
Oh, I'm in. Fine. Okay. Okay. That's kind of your Howard's Cams community segment this week. Oh, sorry. Here was the photos I had for David's car. Oops. That were in the Molly segment. Put them in the wrong segment. Big shout out to Howard's and the team over there. Appreciate Luke B always taking care of us, man. That guy really is so smart. We need to have him back on and kind of go deep dive and talk about some nerdy technical stuff.
Heck yeah.
All right. Let's round this thing out, man. Found on Racing Junk.
Yep, moving into one of my favorite segments of the day, the Found on Racing Junk, which is the official buy-sell partner of Drag Drive Repeat and your go-to destination for everything from race cars to trailers, engines, and more. So I did something a little different this week for this segment.
Okay.
We featured pretty much every car that is in the drag and drive category. So I wanted to do something a little different. So what I did was I went to all vehicles, Racing Junk, whole site, and I put in your zip code and my zip code and searched for vehicles 25 miles around our areas. Okay. And conveniently, I found one with a reasonable price range in your area and two in my area, and they all are roughly the same price range. So I'm going to show all three, and I want to know which one everybody would choose out of these three. All right. This is going to be kind of fun. Awesome. So let me show you what I got here, because I thought this is going to be kind of cool. And it's a range. The cars we got are a whole range here. So first up near me was a 1964 Pontiac GTO for $60,000. Look at the hubcaps on that thing.
Yep. I'm in lust.
Clean interior.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay.
So this one is in Janesville, Wisconsin, which is, like I said, within the 25 miles. It's got 92,000 miles on the car. It's a numbers matching factory tri-power 4-speed M20 323 posi. Nice paint and interior. Runs great. Drives anywhere. Manual steering and brakes. Have poverty hubcaps as well. So.
Can send 100 books to you.
I see that. So this thing is this is untouched, right? Like this would make a cool race car. You could do whatever with it. You could drive it around. Super cool. So there's our first one. The second one is near you and is a Gen 2 Mustang 5.2 liter with a Gen 3 2.9 liter blower, 800 rear wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
66,000. Okay. So again, same price range, completely different style vehicle now here. So you can see this is a track car too, 3,420 pounds.
Nice.
What this thing weighs. So got a bunch of dyno pictures here, but pretty wicked wrap. But 900 horsepower or 800 rear wheel horsepower. This awesome. Here says 1,100 horsepower, but I mean full interior, like all the creature comforts, Sparko seat, Jack Roush, this thing's pretty wild.
Yeah, definitely wild. What city is that in?
This one is in Rogers, Arkansas.
Damn, yeah, that's like 6 miles from me.
Yeah, so pretty close. So I don't know where they race this at. Obviously, it's
so that's a road course called Hallett, which is it's over by Tulsa.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. This could be a pretty cool car to cruise around town in too, with all that power. Yeah. So that's that one. Currently running on 109 octane and a 3.1 pulley. Motor is rated for 1,500 horsepower on E85 and a 2.9-inch pulley. 80% of the body is made of carbon fiber. Total weight is 3,300 pounds.
Yeesh.
All right, so there's number 2. And number 3, this one is back around me. This one is actually in Rockford, okay? $66,000, a 1963 Plymouth Belvedere.
Dude, that one's my choice. I don't need to see any other pictures. I'm in.
Yeah. This thing, excess batteries in there, which I thought was kind of cool.
Mhm.
Small fuel tank.
Yeah, gonna be hard to drive that one a bunch. Ooh.
Yeah. Like
What do they call that? Cross ram?
Yeah, something like that. But Belvedere Max Wedge Stroker, California car, no rust, only the third owner, original paint, less than 40 passes on the car since it was built. A 426 Max Wedge high compression built by Steve Wan with Don Little heads and John Schul modified Edelbrock carbs, his personal carbs.
That's awesome.
Engine has 20 passes on it, Pro Trans Racing 727, so obviously this is a race car, but I thought this one looked
been
really
1021.
Cool. Is that what it said?
Yeah, been 1020. Yeah, 10219 and at BSA weight, whatever that means. Yeah, Brandon Parker says Plymouth for the win, and of course Jeff Mass says that's an easy one, par for the win.
Yeah, I like the GTO. It was clean.
Yeah.
But obviously, race car is kind of our thing here.
Man.
But
yeah, look at that, dude.
Right, look how clean this is inside.
Yeah, Blaze says the GTO's his pick. Yeah, that one's mine. Plymouth all day.
Great. So I thought it was kind of cool.
I like that it's in the floorboard there, though. Dude, go back one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stone Cipher, how well that works out for me. Cruising along and I kicked the power wire out.
Right. Yeah, so this one, pretty cool. There's the 1021 pass at 127 at Byron.
Hey, dude, you need to be friends with this person.
Right. This is the first time I've actually gone through and looked for something like in my area.
Yeah.
So I thought this one would be kind of fun. So who knows? Maybe we'll pick a different location. Obviously, if we get some more drag and drive cars, we're going to continue to focus on them. But there's plenty of other stuff on Racing Junk, as you can see. So
yeah, dude, those are nice cars too. The great picks. The Rogers one here. I mean, literally, that's right around the corner from me. That I've never seen that car at a local event though, so it must be kind of track only. Is kind of their plan. Jeff Mass says, doesn't matter which one, you got to rip them all apart to put a junkyard Hemi in anyway. That's funny. Yeah, good finds, dude. Typically, in this segment, you find stuff that's close to an event that's coming up or something like that. I love this plan here. So, folks, just go in there, search for what's around you, or don't. That's dangerous.
There was another car that I saw that was near you. It was like a full-blown dragster, like $450,000 dragster.
Oh wow, interesting. I'll have to jump on Racing Junk and look for that. I'm with you. I usually only look at the drag and drive stuff.
Right. So, Yeah, I just thought I'd switch it up this week and do something a little different. Yeah, it's kind of fun to see what kind of cars are around us, right?
Yeah, right. That's pretty awesome. All right, man. Let's we're actually an hour and 8 minutes today. I didn't ramble as much today.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Send us out, man.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate all of our race car friends here tuning in on a Saturday morning. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your weekend. Thanks for spending an hour with us, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday night. And of course, our sponsors. Can't do it without all of these great sponsors. Again, if you're doing some shopping, check out these companies. We've got affiliate links, we've got discount codes, or we can just even get you in contact with the right person at the company. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing, Perform Built Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday night. We've got Finnegan and crew on. So again, if you've got questions, please get those to us one way or another, and we'll see everybody Wednesday night.
Yep. See you guys.